Hello, welcome back to Cracking the Cryptic and an intriguing puzzle today. This has come in from Maggie, who is, I'm pretty sure, Bremster's mother, which I think is confirmed by the fact that she says it's fun making puzzles with Bremster, who is, of course, a very well-known and well-loved pillar of the Sudoku community. And it's part of their Family Day Out series, so they've obviously worked on this en famille, and here is the result. It is a puzzle called Bleeding Edge, which is intriguing. Makes me think it might be at the bleeding edge of difficulty and be pretty hard, but we shall see. Looking forward to giving that a go. I will first of all mention that if you like the line Sudoku or arrow Sudoku in this puzzle, you should consider our apps, which feature those two types, and also, of course, they feature Fog of War Sudoku, our latest app. And January the 1st is the start date for Blobs' Lord of the Rings Part 2, his magnum opus, self-described, which is our Patreon monthly reward for January. Loads of content always on Patreon, other videos, crosswords, connections, all sorts of things going on all the time on Patreon. Check it out. And there's our merchandise and our apps as well if you're interested. But the first link under the video is to this puzzle, Bleeding Edge. And I'm going to go through... Ooh, I had a very odd sound there. I don't know if you did. I'm going to go through the rules now and we'll see if we can work out what to do. So, normal Sudoku rules apply. 1 to 9 in every row, every column, and every 3x3 box. And an arrow, digits on an arrow must sum to the digit in the attached circle. Digits may repeat on an arrow, potentially. German whispers, adjacent digits on a green line must have a difference of at least 5. So 1 and 6 could occupy these cells, or 1 and 9, but not 3 and 7. And along a Renban, for each of these pink lines, the digits, or purple lines, depends on your taste, the digits placed must be a set of consecutive digits in any order. So this one could go 3, 1, 2, say. Right, those are the rules. There's a degree of symmetry. Well, there's a lot of symmetry. Is it only broken by the fact that this line is purple? I'm not sure. It's cleverer people, well, and obviously that we have different colours around the perimeter. I'm not sure. Cleverer people than me will be able to rule on that. And there's every chance we'll find out as we go along because of how the puzzle structure works. But I'm really looking forward to trying it, and I'm going to say, let's get cracking now. So, where do we start a puzzle like this? The lines are pretty unhelpful, I would say. Normally, I like to tell you some things about green lines, like 5 can't go on them. They must alternate between digits higher than 5 and digits lower than 5. And 4 and 6 can be difficult to place because they can't go in a cell where their two neighbours can see each other. But amongst all the green lines here, there are only 4 such cells, so that seems less useful than usual. Okay, something to do with this whirligig of arrows into the central cell, maybe. What's going on there? I mean, it seems very likely to me, as we must alternate on a line like this, that these will both be low, that these will both be low, that these will both be low, but I don't know it for sure yet. I mean, you could potentially have a 6 there, and a 6 there, and a 1 there. No, you couldn't. Okay. Right. Okay, I'm going to start with, I normally say that for a circle with a 3-cell arrow, where the 3 cells all see each other, as they do for each of these, let me just colour a couple of these, and the things I'm going to say probably apply all the way around. Anyway, the reason I normally say that we can put at least 6 in the circle, because 1, 2, 3 minimum digits on one of those arrows equals 6. So let's do that. We'll put 6, 7, 8 or 9 there. Now I'm going to rule out 6 and 7. Because if the yellow cells were 1, 2, 3, which is the only way to make up 6, what could that cell be? It already sees 1, 2, and 3, but 1, 2, and 3 would also have to sit here. And that will fail 7 as well, which has to be done by 1, 2, 4. So 6 and 7 have gone. Now, if this was an 8, it is now possible, but the yellow combination will have to be different from the red combination for exactly the reason I was just going through as regards this cell. So yellow could be 1, 2, 5 and red could be 1, 3, 4. But this would then have to be red and this would have to be yellow, because again of these cells that kind of sit watching all of those, I suspect there's a reason 8 won't work. Let me just try and think about that for a moment. I don't know. Maybe 8 could work. Maybe it does work. What we know, whether this is 8 or 9, is that the yellow combination is different from the red combination of digits. The red combination is different from the blue combination, and the blue combination is different from the green, which is in turn different from the yellow. Now, green and red, in fact, there must be, even if it's 9, either yellow, red, blue, or green must be the same as each other. 9 has 3 combinations to make up 9 in 3 cells. 1, 2, 6, 1, 3, 5, and 2, 3, 4. Now, yellow is going to have to be a different combination from red. Red is a different combination from blue. Blue is a different combination from green. There's only 3 possibilities though, so 2 of these do have to be the same as each other. And that means either green will be the same as red or blue will be the same as yellow. And that, in the case of 8 in the middle, blue and yellow will definitely be the same. Green and red would definitely be the same as each other. If that was 1, 2, 5 and that was 1, 3, 4 and that was 1, 2, 5 and that was 1, 3, 4, so that this can be 8. Well, I can see these cells containing 6, 7 and 9. Which one of them would contain, I suppose, 5? I don't know. Oh, here's why. It's lovely. Here's why this isn't 8 in the center. Because each of these arrows, yellow, red, blue, and green, would all need a 1 on them. And yellow would eliminate 1 from those 2 cells. Red would eliminate 1 from those 2, blue from those 2, and green from those 2. And 1 would thus be eliminated from all of these cells by Sudoku, effectively. That's lovely. Right, we get a 9 in the middle, and still we know that either green is the same as red or yellow is the same as blue. Now, what can we do with a 9? Not much with that 1 digit. I mean, it's a fun digit to have achieved, but I don't think it really advances the solve much. So, gonna have to think of something to do with the green lines. And why do the green lines not go everywhere? Oh, well, let's go back to that simple problem of just trying to eliminate. Oh, it's easy. Obviously, I can eliminate that these can be high, because green and yellow would both have to be 6, 1, 2 combinations. I mean, it's so obvious. Right, so clearly those 2 are low, which is dark blue. That is orange, which is high. The same is going to apply hit on this line, isn't it? What What was the reason that I just explained that was so clear? It was that otherwise yellow and red would be the same and would both have a 6 in. Yes, the same is going to apply here. That's orange. The same is going to apply here. That's orange. Now, of course, a pink or purple line is very different, and I don't want to mark that this is definitely low. What we now have, okay, I'm going to get rid of those original colours, yellow, red, blue, light blue and green, but we might have to think about that process again. What we now have here is two very low well, no, I was going to say two very low digits. There's no reason they're very low, is there? I think they're anything from 1, 2, 3, 4 at the moment. I was going to say that this middle digit is middly. If those are from 1, 2, 3, this has to be 4, 5 or 6. I am not going to say that. This digit, oh, well this digit can never be 9. Ah, that's interesting. These orange digits all see that central 9. So they are 6 from 6, 7 and 8. And therefore on their green lines we are never getting a 4 because 4 can only sit next to 9. Right, now we've got a 1, 2, 3 triple in the middle box. We've got exactly what I was looking for on each of 2 of these lines. They need a sort of middly digit in the middle, which is 4, 5 or 6. If you add any 2 digits from 1, 2, 3, you'll find you need at least 4 here. The same there. And these are different combinations. I mean, I'm trying to keep my mind on that. Ah, one of these 1, 2, 3 triples is a 3. Stating the bleeding obvious, but there is a point to that. That means that that 3 will be touching an 8 in the orange cell on its green line. And that 8... Right, where's that 8 going to go in the middle box? And the answer is it's going to go on in this central plus, but perpendicular to where it appears. So I'm imagining that that's a 3 and this is an 8. 8 now can't go in those cells. It can never go in this on this arrow because it's too big a number to go on the arrow. Excuse me a moment. Right, sorry about that. That was a delivery. Now, I was saying that if 3 was here, 8 is here, and 8 would then have to go in one of these cells. And that means that neither of these could be 8. They would have to be a 7-6 pair, but this is all based on me having posited 8 going there. If 8 goes here, then 8's in one of those 2 cells, and this becomes 7 or 6. Now, I'm going to run into trouble in a moment, because if I keep extending that logic, it's okay because 7 can't go on this cell, but it's not okay to say that 6 can't go on it. 6 could go here. So I don't quite know if this theory works. My theory was that that was a 6, 7, 8 triple. I think it does actually. I think it does, because wherever 3 appears in these cells, it makes its partner on the green line 8. That stops 8 appearing in the other 2 orange cells. No, yes it does. Yes it does. Because if 8 is here, it stops it appearing in that cell by where 8 goes in box 5, and it stops it appearing in that cell because it's just in the same column. Right, so wherever 8 goes, it doesn't go in the other 2 cells. Now, one of these other ones is a 2, and that must then be touching 7 in the orange cells, and 7 will force 7 out of the other 2, or the other 1 orange cell that's left. Anyway, the way that that works is that this is now a set of 6, 7, 8. And maybe it's not really helpful, but it's quite interesting. I'll tell you what that does. Whichever one is a 6 is going to have 2 1s on both ends of its line. And does that mean whichever one is a 7 is going to have 2 2s? No, not necessarily. That only applies to the 6. For some reason I'm imagining this will be the 8 and that'll be the 6. And that'll have started with a 3 there, 8 there, don't know here. 7 here, I'm just guessing, because of 2 there, don't know here. 6 there, but then we do know about a pair of 1s. But we would then know that there was a 1-3 pair here, and that would become a 5. Yeah, I don't know how this works. This is really interesting though. Oh, and now there's a 1, 2, 3 triple in column 6 as well that I had not seen. Oh, also this digit cannot be 1, 2 or 3 because they're all in the box already. So this is 4, 5 or 6, another of my famous yellow middly numbers. So this is a blue 1, 2 or 3 because every one of these 9 combinations has 2 of 1, 2 or 3 on it. And now we've got three blue cells all finished in column 4 and in column 6. And these cells are at least a 4. Is that interesting? Yes, it is. That is very interesting. It's interesting in this cell. It's not interesting in this cell, or it's not as interesting. Why it's interesting in this cell is because it's on a green line and it's on a position in a green line where it can't be a 4. So this has to be a high digit. Why can't that be a 4? Because both of those touching it would have to be 9s. And not only can that one not be a 9 at all, they couldn't both be. Anyway, this is now high. This is not 6 because that would be flanked by 2 1s. This is 7, 8 or 9. Well, it's not 9 because of this arrow. It is 7 or 8. We've got 8 or 9 in the circle, and that joins them together is now 1 or 2 and another dark blue. And what can we do down here? We know that this is at least a 4. I think that is much less interesting on a Renban line. Although this digit is at least a 4 as well. I don't know, maybe it's interesting, maybe it's not. Maybe Mark just doesn't know whether it's interesting. Right, there is a third blue in one of those 2 cells. Let's pick up the lesson from down here. There is a third blue in one of those 2 cells, so that is not 1, 2 or 3 either. Oh, go on, I'm going to pencil mark these. These in the circle must be at least a 5. Now, we can alternate our digits on this line between high and low, but now when I put in a low, well, I'm okay with blue, dark blue there. I'm not so okay with it there, because this could be a, oh no, this can't be a 4 because that's not a 9, so I am okay with putting dark blue there. These are both from 1, 2, 3. What I was worried about was, can 4 be there? No, because its 2 neighbours would be 9. Can 4 be there? No. And what I'm worried about is the colour scheme I've ended up adopting for some reason. And yeah, let's be very clear about the colour scheme that I've ended up adopting. 1, 2 and 3 are blue. Yellow represents 4, 5 or 6. Orange represents 6, 7, 8 or 9. And the observant amongst you will point out quite correctly that there's an overlap there. So orange is not necessarily distinct from yellow because 6 could go in both sets. Well, that's what I'm doing for now, and I will change when we get to a point where it seems to matter. But it's helped me spot these triples in blue, and I'm not ashamed of continuing with that theory. Now there is another blue here. Ooh, if it was there, it would be yet another triple. That would be fine, because if that was blue, that would be yellow, and yellow must be able to join together quite comfortably on a Renban. That was an interesting cell to reduce to 1 or 2. Have we got a third blue in this row? No. I mean, yeah, I can colour 9 orange. We very palpably haven't got orange in all of these cells because there's only 3 oranges left to put in the box. Yeah, hang on. There are 3 oranges left to put in this box. We can't put 2 of them in that column or we'd have 5 oranges in the column. So we can put one of the oranges there and two of them there. And now we've made a 6, 7, 8, 9 quad in the row. Is that useful? Well, yes, bingo, this is now low. That's bizarre to find that out. Well, it's low or it could be 4. No, it can't be 4 because this can't be 9 on the arrow. So same dealio again there. That's so funky. Okay. Right, I'm going to interrupt again. Bother. I thought I was going to get free time and I'm not. I will call you back. I'll be back with you in a second. Right, I'm really sorry about that. I don't know where we got to. It's been quite a while. Now, I seem to have put blue there. That's good. Yes, that was due to this 6, 7, 8, 9 quad. That made that blue. But I mustn't make it fully blue. No, I can. Yes, okay. I was probably saying exactly this. That can't be a 4 because this can't be a 9 on this arrow. So I can make that dark blue. This is high. Let's say 7 or 8, just the same as there. And therefore we've got exactly the same arrow business going on. We get a blue 1 or 2 in this cell. That's also blue, 1, 2 or 3. Can't be a 4 given its position. And then this is high, 6, 7, 8 or 9. Now there's a 1, 2, 3 in row 7. We're getting quads and triples all over. That was useful. Now there was one orange. Wow. Yeah, there's one orange here. I was about to say it's not 6, but I don't think I've got the chutzpah to say that. There's another digit in these cells which is 4 or 5. Well, hang on, can this be 6? This would be a 4-5 pair. That would be 7, 8, and that would be 6. And that would be 7, 8. Actually, yes, that's fine. Okay, so where are we now? We got this as 1 or 2. Did that do anything? These two cells are the only digits where I've written 1, 2, 3, but I haven't written a 3. Okay, I still need to know which of these babies in the central box is a 3. Or, let's have a look at this digit. Oh no, it's a Renban, not a German whisper line. You can very much see how the symmetry is really beginning to take effect, but it hasn't. Am I meant to start colouring the 1, 2, 3s against each other? I'm really liking what the puzzle does. It's very, very interesting. But I don't think it's an easy puzzle by any stretch of the imagination. Should I be trying to find out? Oh yeah, one of these was going to be blue because this arrow needs a second one. If it was there, that would complete 1, 2, 3 in the column. If it was there, it wouldn't for its own column. Oh, there is a blue in one of these two because there can't be one there and there can't be one in that column. Oh, this might work even better at the top. That is not blue, and that is not blue. This is blue to be the third one in its box. I know that those and those aren't blue because they've both got 3 blues in the column already. Okay, so I could colour these yellow, but that's inappropriate. They're yellow or orange. If this was a 6, these would both be 1s. That would be a 2, 3 pair. Because that's a 1, that would be a 2, 3 pair, and that would have to be 4. If that was a 6, this would have to be 4. What's that doing for me? Okay, let's think about this being a 3. If I can rule out both of these being a 3 for some reason that follows, then I know that that's a 3, and that would be quite interesting. So if this is a 3, that's an 8. Then this is a 6-7 pair. There's an 8 in one of these. This is a 6-7 pair. They're going to need 1 and 2 on both ends. And that's going to leave both of these now to be 3s. So we're getting more information on 3s if this is a 3 here. But it is not finishing, it's not failing, which is really what I need it to do. Maybe it's just with this quad. Everything else in this row is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's just pencil mark that in. Right. Here's something. 9 cannot be here because of this Renban. If that is 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5, you can't put 9 on this Renban. You can't extend down to 5. So 9 is now in one of those 2 cells in box 6, and one of those 2 in row 6. Oh, why am I writing 6 then? 9. Now it's almost certainly there. If it was here, what would that do? I don't know. Now, can I do the same here somewhere? Yes. No. Can I limit this to 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5? Yes, I can. I can, because I've got 3 high digits there, and I know there's 1 more here. So these 2 are not high. This one is low, and that can't be a 9. So 9 is in one of those 2 cells and one of those 2 cells. And I've got this symmetrical pattern of cells where 9 can be in boxes 2, 4, 6, 8. And it's probably going to end up in all of the circles, but that's information that I have yet to achieve. Now, if that was a 7, this would be a 1, 2 pair. We'd have another 1, 2 pair. What would that do? I don't know. I don't know again. Oh, here's a thing. If this was a 3, that would be 8 and that would be 9. Once this is 8, that's a 1. So if that's a 3, this is 1 and that must be 2. If that's not a 3, this is a 1, 2 pair and that must be 3. So this cell can never be 1. I mean, that took some getting, but it is available. I wonder if that sort of thing is available somewhere else. It feels a bit difficult to find. So the equivalent would be if that is a 3, I think, then this has to be 8. And that becomes 1. Oh, that's impossible. If that's a 3, that's an 8, and that becomes 1, and this is a 2, 3 pair with a 3 there. So that's not a 3. In fact, those 2 cells are the same, whatever they are. Let's give them a bit of pinky colour. It's interesting in its own right. Did that apply? No, not in these boxes. Oh, that one, no, I don't have that same relationship here because I haven't got the colouring on this arrow so detailed. Now, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5. That's 4, 5, or 6. This cannot be 1. It could be 2. Although that would have to be 3 and this would be a 1. That would be a 4. That's quite interesting. If this was 2, you could fill in a lot of digits. 3, 4, 1, 6. But there's no particular reason for this to be a 2. You don't even have to have... I was actually hoping to eliminate having a very low number on this pink line. Haven't really managed to do that either. Now there is a 1 in one of those cells. That's not interesting. It's not trying to... Okay, let's go back to if this was a 3. That's 8, that's 1. So then we've got a 2 here. Either 1 or 3 here. Okay, if that's a 1, this is a 2-3 pair. This is then not a 6. It's all going to be about which of these is a 6. Or maybe it starts with which of them is an 8. And then develops into which one of them is a 7 and which one is a 6. And once we start clearing that up, we will be moving. But I could still be a long way away from clearing that thing up. If this was 6, that couldn't be less than 4. This would have to be the remaining blue digit. I don't know, this being 6 has some appeal, because it would definitely place that as a 6. Yeah, it gets very interesting. If that's a 6, this is a 6, these are both 1s, then, oh, this couldn't, right, if this is these aren't allowed to be the same. That's my point coming up now. If that's a 6, that's a 6, these are 1s, that's not allowed to be a 2 now, because that would have to be a second 6 in row 6. That would be a 3 and that would be a 5. So if that's a 6, we've got 1, 3, 2, all parcelled up already. And that 2 would have to go with 3, 4. Yeah, this is worth pursuing. So, where am I? I'm starting with if this is a 6. That makes that a 6. Sorry, I'm just trying to think about what's happening. If that's a 6, those are both 1s. This is on an arrow with that digit, whereas this is on an arrow with that digit, both going to 9. That's going to mean these two would be different by de jure, by force. De jure is not the right phrase for that. It means by law. Oh, okay, let's think about it the other way around. What if this was a 2? Then we immediately know 7 and 9 here. We also know that that's a 3 and that's a 1. And this becomes 2, which is the same as that. Is there a problem with that? We'd have 3 here. This couldn't be 6 anyway. There's something to do with 6s in these yellow cells, or maybe just the bottom 2 of them. We're not allowed 6 in both, obviously. And yet to have a 1-2 pair, you have to have a 6. I'm wondering if we're forcing one of these to be a 3 somehow. I don't think that's quite applicable. I've got this 1, 2, 3 triple. Oh, I should probably go back to that very first thought I was having about that being different from that being a different set from that being a different set from this. I probably should. But how does it work? I just don't get it. Two of them had to be the same, didn't they? The same sets. Okay, so if it was that one and this one, then that digit is out here somewhere and in one of those, and that digit is there. That's very doable. If this was the same as this, which is the alternative, then what? I feel that doesn't work. Right, that doesn't work. These two can't be the same as each other for this reason. Where would this digit go in box 5? Because if it was in one of those cells, it would have to be in one of those two, but we know they're not low. So those two are not the same as each other. That means I'm going to use the pen tool. That means these two are the same sets of digits as each other, because we can't have remember, we can't have 4 different sets of digits adding up to 9, because there aren't 4 sets of 3 digits that add up to 9. There are only 3. I've just proved that those two have to be different. Oh my goodness, excuse me. We already knew that this is different from this. That was something we worked out a while ago. And we already knew that this is different from this, and this is different from this. So the two that have to be the same were either that pair, which we've just disproved, or this pair. So this pair are the same set. So that digit, aha, that digit appears in one of those two. And where does it appear in row 5? In one of those two, and it's a 6. Wow. Oh, that's so clever, guys. I'm talking to Bremster and Maggie now. That's not a 6. And there is a 6 out here on a 6, 1, 2 arrow. There we go. My goodness. I'm proud of that deduction. Right, that's a 1, 2 pair. That's the 3. That's where it is, where I postulated it all the time. That's touching an 8. These aren't an 8. These are a 7, 6 pair now. 8 is in one of those cells, looking at a 6, 7 pair. Now, one of these is a 2 touching a 7 on the arrow. That can't be a 3. It's not these, it's just that. This can't be a 6 now. 3 is there in box 2. This is huge. Okay, there is a 3 in these cells, but it's different from this arrow. That's not a 6. These two other yellow cells are different from each other because these arrows are different. Oh goodness, this is so clever. 1, 2, 6 there. And that is seeing those, removing 6 from those digits. I'm hoping someone else is going to answer my door there. 6, 7, 9, 3, 1, 2 are all done here. These are from 4, 5, 8. That 1, 2, 3 triple there. Can I really not hear anyone else answering the door? Let me just check. Sorry, someone else did answer the door. Good news. Right, 6, 1, 2. I'm really trying to concentrate on this now. This is getting really, really good. Right, no, I was going to say 1, 2, 6 can't be the difference between that and that. That's nonsense, because the difference between that and that goes up there. Oh, this can't be, yes, this bloomin' Renban. This can't be 1 for sure and joined to a 4 or 5. It could be 2 if that was 3. And if this was 6, this would be 4 or 5. So this is 3, 4 or 5. That didn't quite clear it up. Ah, come on. That is different from that. So that's the same as that. That one appears in one of those and out here. I want to say it can't be there, but I don't know that. So I thought we were going to get some traction. Right, we know that there's a 6 in one of those. That's how we got this going. We know there's an 8 in one of these, along with 4 or 5. The 6, 7 pair, not resolved. Oh, I feel like this is going to do it all. Okay, if that was 2, 3, 4, this would be 2, 3, that would be 1. That all works fine. That would be 6. This would be 2, that's a 1. I shouldn't have done this with a green line. In fact, let's get rid of my line, because now that's looking like a German whisper line to me, which is really not helpful. It doesn't matter. I mean, I was just trying to demonstrate that those are both 1, 2, 6 lines. I do not need the colouring. Right, come on, come on. 1, 2, 3 there. Nothing has really changed. Now, if this was a 5, this would definitely go 3, 1. And that would be a 4. That would be 2. This would be 7. Okay, I also know one of these has to be a 1 because one of these has to be a 6. What's that telling me? That's telling me that none of these can be a 1, which I knew anyway, and none of these can be a 1, which I didn't specifically know about this cell, but I barely care about. No, I did know that about this cell. 1, 2, 3, that is 4 or 5. Where does this digit go in box 2? It doesn't go there, because these are different combos. So it goes up here. Now we've got a 4, 5 pair and a 1, 2 pair and a 3. Everything else in the column is 6, 7, 8 or 9. This is bigger than that, so the difference is maxing out at 3, so that's blue. What else did that do? This can't be 7 because that would be 6 and break that cell. So this is 8 or 9. That's also high. Oh, wow, it can't be. Yes. Shut up. Honestly, I really thought that during this break there would be not so many distractions and phone calls, and I was so badly wrong. Today anyway, I was wrong. Right, those can't be 8 because we've placed 8 in this box and then I haven't thought about that at all. Oh, this is close to being a parity thing. If that couldn't be 4, then this would definitely be even. It's probably not that helpful. Okay, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3. This is another high digit. 6, 7, 8 or 9. Now, they have been used here. That's 4 or 5. This is 4 or 5. Now, what's going on this line? This is not a 1 because we have to ascend to a 6. It's also not a 2 to at least a 6. Now 1 in the box has to be in one of those cells. Weird. And this is not a 1. Now this can't be 8. And that's a 6, 7 pair. Now I've got an 8, 9 pair in the box. That nearly did something. If this was 7, that would be 6 and a 4, 5 pair. That would be 6. It's good progress, doesn't quite get me over the line. I mean, we keep edging closer to something that's going to bring us to the tipping point of this puzzle where I can start filling in digits. Love to get into beast mode anytime soon. That could still be a 1 in theory if that's a 4. Purple cell has to go in one of these 3. I don't know what to do with that. 8, 9 pair there, 6, 7 pair. If that was a 3, this would be 6 and 9. That would have to be a 7. That would make that a 2. because we know wherever the 1 is here, it's because one of these has to be a 6. Oh, what I was originally asking about was the fact that one of those has to be 1. Does that prove anything? Not really. Now we've got, okay, that digit. Well, I was going to say it's that, but that's not necessarily true. If that was a 3, it might be here. 3, 4, 5, 6 on this renban is possible. I'll tell you why that doesn't work, and I don't know if this has a generic application. If this renban was 3, 4, 5, 6, because this, on the basis of this being 3, oh, it's not 3. That's why it doesn't work. Sudoku. Sudoku is your friend sometimes. Right, that is now a 4-5 pair. This is 6 or 7. This is either the other digit from 6 or 7 or a 3. If it was a 3, that's 2, 1, and that's a 3. This is also, this has become 1 or 2 here. And where's the other 1 or 2 in the column? Up there. So these could get coloured light blue perhaps, because they're the same digit. And they're sitting there. And this one is the pinkish one. And that's the light blue one. And is colouring the 1s and 2s going to do anything for my sang-froid or peace of mind? Not at the moment. 2, 6, 1. Ah, goodness, now what? Those 2 add up to 6, so those 2 add up to 6. Interesting discovery of the day. Not actually very valuable. These are different, that and that. I mean, I could certainly start colouring the 4 and 5s against each other, but I'm not sure if that really advances the cause. Oh, we need a 3 in this row. I don't know. We also need, what is it? I don't know. It could be any higher digit, actually. That's weird. I feel like these knuckles are very important. And I've pencil marked 3 of them, but not this one, which is something up to 5. Right, if that's low, it's 1 or 2, and that's a definite 3. Which has to see 8 here, 9 here. That would be 1. So this can never be 1 in this cell. Oh, well, that's really interesting. Let me just follow that through again. If this was a 1, that would be 2 and that would be 3. But that 3 would make that an 8. And 8 plus 2 aren't going to fit there. So that is not a 1. Now I've got a 2-6 pair, and that is a 1. And this might be the tipping point. Now, that is not a 1. Oh, this could never have been 3. There you go. That would probably have helped. 2 there, 7 there. That's become a 2. This is a 1. That's a 6. Right. This is now a 2, and that needs 7 plus 2 equals 9 to work there. I mean, I think we could move into beast mode. Let's just see how we do here. 6 there. This has become a 3 by Sudoku. 9 and 8. That's a 1, that's a 3. This is 4 to make the sum work. That's a 5, that's a 4, that's a 2 in the box. This is not a 2, it's not allowed to be a 3 on the Whisper. This is not allowed to be a 7 by Sudoku. That's a 5, that's a 4. This is now 3 or 7. That's become 6, that's 2. None of these can be 2. 2, 6, 1, 3. That's getting interesting. But I mean, we suddenly got a flurry of digits. That's a 1-2 pair. 2, 6, 1, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 6. Not quite sure what's going on. These can't have a 4 in. They're a 5-8 pair. Okay, well, we had beast mode going for a moment. I enjoyed it. That can't be 8 by Sudoku. 1, 2, 3, 7, 9. This is 4, 5, or 8. That's 4 or 5. Nothing else will do. 5, 4, 6. 6 is in one of those two cells and one of these two. It's hard to imagine 6 not... Well, 6 can't be in any of those cells. If 6 wasn't on this Renban, it would be either 1, 2, 3, 4 or 2, 3, 4, 5. What's that telling you? Not sure. Okay, well, I enjoyed the flurry of activity, getting lots of digits in the grid. I feel like, oh yes, look, that 2. I feel like further progress is not far away. And now that's a 2. This is not a 6. So that is where 6 goes in the box. I'm probably going to stop colouring in a moment because it's kind of done its job. In fact, let's get rid of the part colouring for now. Keep the main colouring going. And I can turn that 6 into orange maybe, leave you 4 and 5 for the yellows. Right, now we got 2 there. So this is a 3 on the Renban. That's got to be right. That's now a 1. That is not a Renban though. That is 4 or 5. My colour for 4 or 5 is yellow, weirdly. I don't think I've ever quite used exactly this colour scheme before. Okay, 2's in one of those cells, so that's a 1, which I could have done by just adding up the arrow. 8, 6, 1. 2 is there, so 3 in the box has to be here. 3, 1, 6, 2, 4. Yeah, okay, so this Renban, that can't be 7 anymore? Yeah, that's right. That is 4 or 5. You're right, that gets a colour. Now, if that's a 2, that's 4, that's 5. Otherwise, this is a 4-5 pair. This can't be 6. This would have to be... Oh, there can't be a 6 on this line. So it is 3, 2, 4, 5 in some order. That's a 2, 4, 5 triple. So I've got a 7, 9 pair in the box. That is 4, 5 or 8. Now the difference between here and here is either 3, 5, 2 or 4. Well, it can't be 5, so that's 2, 3 or 4. 3, 2, 4, 5 there. Can I? Yes, this is 7 or 9, which forms a pair in this row. The other 2 digits are 4 and 5 in the row. That's giving me a pair in this box. Is that interesting? Not really. Oh, 3 there has made this a 7. That's a 9. This has to be a 4-5 pair by Sudoku now. And this is a 3-8 pair. This is a 1-2-9 triple. Feel like I'm on the home stretch. That's sorted out. 7 here. This is a 6-8 pair. Okay, this column, that is 8 or 9, has to be 8. That's 9. This isn't. 9, 4, 2, 6, 1, 3. This is still from 5, 7 or 8. That on the whisper, no, on the arrow, that's an 8. That's big news. 5, 8. This is a 7 to complete the row. That's not an 8. Those are high. We knew there was a 2 in one of those cells. 1, 2, 9. Okay, let's go up to the top. This can't be 8 or 6 by Sudoku. So that's a 9. At least that worked. That's a naked single 5 in that cell. It sees all the other Sudoku digits. 368 still to go. Okay, down this column, 927168. 8 in the column is at the bottom. That's 4 or 5, and then we can put a 3 below that. 6 in the corner. Do a little bit of my colouring. Don't really know why I'm continuing the colouring. 4, 5 and 7 to place in the books. They can't have a 6 in now, so they're all done. 8 and 3. I did not celebrate the Christmas 3 in the corner, sorry. That's not allowed to be 3 now, so odd there, even there. This is odd and is therefore 5. That doesn't sort out the rest of it. The rest of either the arrow or the renban. It stops that being 5. Now that's a 2-4 pair, and that's going to do the business. Right, 4, 5, 4. Neither of those are a 9. That 9 is looking up here. 7, 9, 4, 2, 4. 2 deadly pattern all resolved. This pattern resolved at the bottom. 7 and 1 there. 6 and 9 to place here. Okay, let's do some wind up colouring. Wind up in the sense that I'm nearly winding up the solve here. Blue, they can go yellow. Right, 5 and 4 are done. 7, 5. Let's just colour those before I put in the last 4. There it is. I hope I haven't got anything wrong in the colouring. And that's it. Solved the puzzle. Right, well, it didn't take me quite that long, but it was nearly that long. It was a tough puzzle. 800 people have done that in the 3 months it's been out there. It's right. I mean, I'm not quite sure why it's on the bleeding edge, but it was tough indeed. Thoroughly enjoyable, very clever stuff from Maggie and Bremster. Really interesting interplay. Thank you for doing that, and I will see you soon. Bye for now, everybody.